Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I'm continuing my series of top albums of a specific year, and the year is 1970. This was the year we start to see some true heavy metal as well as albums from some of the more established classic rock bands. This list will cover albums that influence heavy metal as well as some progressive rock and some classic rock. And these will be in order of release, so let me just get right into it. One is The Doors with Morrison Hotel, released on February 9th, 1970. Really great album, a return to their blues rock style after the more experimental, like The Soft Parade. This one has the big hit, Roadhouse Blues, one of those songs kind of very fun to sing along to. And it's one of those songs you hear on the radio a lot. We got Waiting for the Sun. It's an album that was their previous album, but they put it on this album for some reason. We got Peace Frog, really like the funky vibe to that one. And we have Indian Summer, really great, like melodic song. Next, Black Sabbath, self-titled, released on February 13th, 1970. That was the UK release date, and I think the US release date was later in June, I believe. This is the album that many consider is like the first heavy metal album, but more specifically like the doom metal subgenre. So the title track, Black Sabbath, also considered the first doom metal song, very slow and haunting opening riff. Just a very like dark and scary type of song. NIB, another influential song, really great metal riff, has a great song in the heavy metal genre. And they have a cover of Evil Woman, and that's really has more of a classic rock sound. Next is Alice Cooper with Easy Action, released on March 27, 1970. This was the second album from the Alice Cooper Band, and the title was taken from a line in the movie West Side Story. On this album, they start to kind of develop the sound a little more, but it's an album that the band never really liked that much. The only song they ever played live was Return of the Spiders, and I think they only played that a few times during the Love to Death tour. But I don't think they ever go back to this album. We got some other great songs. It has more of a psychedelic sound. I like the song Shoe Salesman, and I like the song Laughing at Me. So it's a pretty cool album. Not one of his best, but it's very good. Next is Benefit by Jethro Tull, released on April 20th, 1970. So on this album, the band continues to develop their sound. This album's a little darker than the previous two, and they did have an influence from bands like Cream and Led Zeppelin, so it was a little more of a riff-heavy album. And there were two versions, the US and UK version. The US version had the song Teacher, another riff-heavy song, kind of more of a heavier rock song. And some of the later releases on the album include The Witch's Promise. That was a standalone single, and it had Teacher as a B-side, but this is really a great rock album, and it's kind of underrated in the Jethro Tull catalog. Next is Let It Be by the Beatles, released on May 8th, 1970. So this is an album I don't really have to talk too much about because we have been seeing a lot of videos from the vinyl community with the recent reissue and the Peter Jackson documentary, which is on Disney+. But it's a really great album. This is their last official album together. Starts with Two of Us, very melodic, laid-back Lennon McCartney song. We got the title track, Let It Be, that was written by Paul McCartney, and we got the song Get Back, one of the more harder rock songs. Really great blues song, and another song written by. Next we have In Rock by Deep Purple, released on June 3rd, 1970. So if Black Sabbath invented heavy metal, Deep Purple invented speed metal with this album. So this is the album that will spawn bands like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. So you hear it in songs like Speed King, which is kind of the first speed metal song. Child in Time, a metal ballad, has some really epic screams by Ian Gillan. And then on side two, we got songs like Flight of the Rat and Into the Fire. It has really great fast rhythm guitar and that galloping guitar. And that's something we would hear later in heavy metal, specifically bands like Iron Maiden. And this is also the first album with the Mark II lineup. Has Richie Blackmore, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, John Lord, and Ian Pace. Up next, CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival with Cosmos Factory. Released on June 16, 1970. This is their fifth album, a very successful one. Spent 9 consecutive weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200 charts. Lots of great songs. We got Before You Accuse Me, really cool Southern rock song. That's a cover song as well. Run Through the Jungle, really cool southern, like swampy type of song. Really like that one. And it has the big hits like Who'll Stop the Rain and I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Now the latter being a long song on the album. It's actually 11 minutes long. It's probably a short version. But this is a really great album, and it's a good like intro album if you want to like get to know the band. Probably like one of their best, I would say. Next is Paranoid by Black Sabbath, released on September 18th, 1970. And probably considered one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Basically, they took what they did on their first album and they just like did it a lot better. So the songs here are very political in nature, a lot of anti-war themes in the lyrics. Starts out with War Pigs, very classic, has really some great riffing by Tony Iommi. We got the title track, their most recognizable song, kind of like a short, very radio-friendly type of song. Planet Caravan, psychedelic rock. This is one I probably don't like that much, but still a good song. We got Iron Man, really a classic guitar riff. This is like that one riff everyone learns to play when they like learn the guitar. And my favorite songs are actually like the deep cuts. So we have Electric Funeral and Hand of Doom. Really love those, incredible riffing on those songs, and just a great album. If you want to get introduced to heavy metal, this is a good place to start. Next is Atom Heart Mother by Pink Floyd, released on October 2nd, 1970. So this is their 5th studio album, recorded at Abbey Road Studios in London. First album not to have any words or logo on the cover, and Pink Floyd would actually do this. A lot of their subsequent covers wouldn't really have any logos or words. Cover was created by Hypnosis. They were like an art group. They created a lot of classic rock covers. I know they did some by Led Zeppelin and many others. So this album has the epic title track. It's over 23 minutes long. I think it's their longest song. A very epic song, lots of orchestration in this one. And the second side has like 3 short songs called If, Summer 68, and Fat Old Sun. Pretty cool, like mellow rock songs. And then the last song is a trippy, like psychedelic rock song called Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast, which is a long song that is 13 minutes long. Last album will be Led Zeppelin III, released October 5th, 1970. An album that's both influential on heavy metal. We got songs like Immigrant Song and also Out on the Tiles. That's kind of like another heavy kind of song. And we got like a lot of acoustic rock. So a lot of other songs on the album. So we have, Gallows Pole, Tangerine, Brawny or Stomp, Hats Off to Roy Harper. Mostly like side 2 is mostly acoustic rock. Side 1 has more like variety. It has like some blues as well. Since I've Been Loving You, really great blues song. And this is just a really great album. So that is all. Let me know in the comments what you thought. So tomorrow I'll continue my series with 1971. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.